Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Frank Payne, host of Loud and Unfiltered, and it's time for another episode of the show. But because we're just about to wrap up the remodeling of the Loud and Unfiltered Studios, I'm going to give you another flashback interview this week. Now, this time, we're going to go all the way back to 2014. This was when Blue October was releasing the album Sway. They were going to go out on tour in support of said album. And I had a chance to catch up with Justin Furstenfeld of Blue October to talk about the album, what they've been up to, life on the road, and so much more. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we're going to pick up the interview right where Justin tells us what he and the band have been doing for the past 6 or 7 years since he and I last spoke. I hope you enjoy it. We'll be back with a brand new episode of Loud and Unfiltered next week. But right now, here's your flashback interview with Blue October.
Well, we had this song called "Hate Me" come out, and kind of blew up.
It kind of did well, didn't it?
it kind of did good for us.
Yeah.
And so we're very proud of that song because we love that that's the first song that the world got showcased to.
Yeah,
because it does kind of put our mood and our style in a nutshell. But since then, we've been touring and making albums like crazy. And we put on an album called Approaching Normal.
Yep.
Put on an album called Any Man in America. Put out a brand new album called Sway. And just touring as much as we can. Bleed Out off of Sway got to number 20 on the Billboard chart. So
that's awesome.
We're still charting. We're still, I don't know how we're doing it, but we're still in the game, and we're loving every second of it. We're just blessed and very grateful, man.
I would consider y'all shows more of an experience than it is just a concert.
Oh, wow. That's nice of you.
It really is.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with, like the songs are about real things. The hour and a half that we have on stage is an hour and a half out of our day that we work up to. So all day is spent getting ready for that show. And when we do get on stage, it's all about putting on 110% for the audience because, it's their hard-earned money coming out. And we want to make sure that they leave feeling uplifted, good, and, ready to pop. And that's our job. Yeah. That's what we do. And we're blessed to be able to do it. So we will never give less than 110% on stage.
Well, and you guys, Blue October, you guys are actually kind of one of the few cultish bands still around. I mean, back in the day, there were, and not saying, okay, these guys are in a cult. No, I'm talking about the kind of cult, the kind of band that has the cult type following, kind of like how, Grateful Dead, and Fish and Dave Matthews, you guys have,
wow.
you guys have that kind of following, and it's not only because it's that you guys put out absolutely amazing music that everybody can relate to, but it's also because of your live show. It really is an experience, and all the big bands that have reached the pinnacle of success that Blue October has, you always have big crowds that are really loud and stuff, but not all of them have the entire crowd singing every single word to every single song like a Blue October show. How do you maintain composure up there? Because if I was you, I'd just get up there and just strum the guitar and then just let the crowd take over. I mean, you really don't have to do your job anymore.
Like I said, we're very blessed and grateful to have the fans that we have. That's the one thing that I think that I love about our band is we never let big companies or big labels steer us in different directions or do things we didn't want to do. So as long as we were true to the art and true to the songs and gave 102% on stage, we keep having the same fans come back, and we just keep giving and giving and giving because they're the people that put diapers on my kids, so I have to, they're the most special people in the world, So we're, like I said, we're just grateful.
Hey, did you ever think back in the day when, when you guys first started that, fast forward, a decade and a half, that you'd be having an interview and saying, these are the guys that put diapers on my kids?
I didn't.
You know,
but I was always hoping for that. That I would meet some really hot chick, and then she would marry me, and then we'd have kids, and we'd live on the road and take care of them on the road. And guess what? I got that.
That's freaking awesome, man.
That my family comes on the road wherever I go. And my wife and my kid goes on the road, and we live on the road. And then when we're not on the road, we're at home in the studio getting ready for the next album. So it's what we do.
That's awesome.
Man, it's really cool. It's really cool. Plus, my wife is like smoking hot, so it's great.
You've got the wife, you've got the life, and you've got the family, man. What more could you ask for, Justin?
Nothing. Everything else is just a bonus.
Justin, speaking of the live show, what's your favorite part of the live show?
Just like I said before, just knowing that hour and a half, I'm just gonna bust my heart open up there.
Yeah.
And it's never the same. I never know what the audience is gonna do. I never know if anything's gonna happen in the audience that makes it special or different. My favorite part is just the unknown. Getting up there and doing my thing and getting right in the faces of the audience and making them feel a part of it. I guess that's my favorite part. And then getting off the stage and being like, oh my God, I'm so tired.
Justin, it's no secret. Anybody that's listened to Blue October know that there's quite a bit of your music that come from the deepest, darkest parts of your personal soul. Obviously, for many, music is a release. It's it's very cathartic. But is it tough for you to sing some of these songs? Maybe does it bring up some haunting memories, or is it a way of cleansing yourself every night when you're on stage?
It used to do that to me. About 2 years ago, I decided to stop drinking, stop taking drugs, stop everything, and just be the healthiest person I could possibly be. And I noticed something, and that change was just like, hey, you can turn it on when you're on stage, and you can feel all this when you're on stage. But when you get off stage, turn it off. Because I never really found out who I lived in that regurgitated cycle of depression for so many years through these songs.
Yeah.
That everywhere I went, it became the staple of who I was, and that's not who I am anymore. Hate Me was written close to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's just a stepping stone in my life. And so when I'm on stage now, I can dive back into those feelings. I can dive back into those memories. For the people out there that are crying, or the person out there that's feeling them, or going through, or the 16-year-old out there who's like, I don't know what to do with my life, or the drug addict still in the audience. It's just like, how do I get clean? What I'm saying? Things like that. Those are the people I just pray and hope that there's people out there like that. So when I get up there, this is a reason for me pushing it so hard.
That's awesome.
And I think that when I do that, it makes my life a purpose instead of just a showcase.
Right.
And I really appreciate being able to do that.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear things are going well for you, man. It's really good to hear those words come out of your mouth, and outside of the words themselves, just the way you're saying, it's obvious that you are truly happy, brother. That's really cool.
I just, 2 years ago I found it, and it was on just cleaning myself up.
Yeah.
Because before that, life was just about me. I mean, listen to every album, me. It touched a lot of people, but I drug the fans down to a very dark place in Any Man in America.
Yeah.
That album. And after that album, there was really no place to go but up.
Yeah.
So when I cleaned myself up and started looking at myself in the mirror, I was like, why don't you show your fans that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that light is now.
Yeah.
And to embrace life and do whatever you can to make it the best you could possibly be. And don't worry about the haters. Don't worry about all the BS. Just get through it, stick your head up, and don't be a victim, be a survivor, and work through it.
There are some artists that, that really have to go to, the dark side to deliver such messages and everything. But when they do clean up, they're not able to deliver such powerful music. And you are, like many things, you are an exception to the rule, because Sway, I mean, absolutely. This is, I would honestly say, the pinnacle of your career. This is
Wow.
This is one of the greatest albums I have ever heard, regardless of genre of music. I love all kinds of music. To me, if it's good, it doesn't matter what the what the genre is. And Sway is absolutely amazing, and I'm so stoked to hear that that the title track is actually on the horizon as far as as your next single.
Yes, sir. So am I. But the thing is, like I said, I used to listen to bands like that too. That half my idols were drug addicts.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I got to be that way. I got to be that way. And some of them that got cleaned up. You're right. Their work wasn't as, I wouldn't say it wasn't as good.
Yeah.
I could just tell they didn't fall in love with it.
Right.
But I had to look at it as something like sobriety is something that I lost.
Right.
Not something that I gained. Sobriety is something that, like, as I get more sober and more sober, I start remembering what life felt like when it was clean and enjoyable. I start remembering that there's things like Santa Claus. I start remembering that there's things like Christmas that comes around. I start remembering that there's things like hearing a song and getting chills and just choking up, and then start remembering, the first time you ever held a girl's hand. You start remembering those feelings that inspired you in the first place to want to be an artist, or standing outside in a rainstorm and just being like, wow, can you smell that?
Yeah.
Things like that. And it's pure things. And like I always say, like I don't want to half-ass this career. People that listen to us deserve it more. I don't want to Lance Armstrong my way through life. I want to do something pure. And I used to do that. I used to, let's see what I can write on this drug. Let's see let's see what I can write in my brain. Let's just get smarter. Let's just get healthier and be more positive. So it's nice. I can still get dark as hell, but I know how to turn it off now.
That's fantastic, man. Have you, dude, that's really cool, because, I know that there are quite a few people that are listening right now that, many are musicians, or many are in other forms of art that they enter that, that dark room. And, I think it's powerful that they're able to hear those words and know that they can, do what they're doing. And, it's there are times you can turn the light off and times that you turn the light on. And I think that's...
Yeah, exactly, man. You can turn it off when you get home, just turn it off and just enjoy life and make life less about you.
That's badass.
Look around you and recognize there's miracles everywhere.
I'll tell you, I sure do like those flashback interviews, because they bring back a lot of great memories, but there's nothing like the real thing. As a matter of fact, we'll be back with a brand new episode of Loud and Unfiltered next week, and I appreciate your patience with us as we remodel the Loud and Unfiltered Studios. Where you see me recording all of this right now is just like a very small part of what's going on behind this wall. I mean, it's going to be really, really cool. New episode next week. Find Loud and Unfiltered on all the socials. You can find us online at DaleJr.forPresident.com. Yeah, loudandunfiltered.com was not available, so we went with the next best thing, DaleJr.forPresident.com. And my attorneys, well, they tell me that I have to tell y'all that we have no affiliation with Dale Earnhardt Jr. or his possible desire to run for president. Be kind of cool if he did, though. We need a redneck in the White House. All right, you guys have a great one. Back next week with a brand new episode of Loud and Unfiltered. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me. Once again, go check us out online, DaleJr.forPresident.com. And please remember, be a good human and stay loud and unfiltered.